All right, we are live and on air. Welcome everyone to this week's Kickoff Labs marketing chats. This week in our marketing chat, we will be reviewing your landing pages, pages that you've submitted over the last couple of weeks since the last time we've done a review, pages of people that are in attendance of the chat, and pages that we think will make a good case study for anyone, not just the person having their page reviewed. Our goal with these chats is to make it interactive, so please, as I've encouraged on the chat, please sign in. Let us know if you're here, if you submitted a page, what that page was, so we can make sure we get to it. Not that we miss pages, but we have more pages probably now than we can get to, and it's great to be able to do a page of people that are here live. It adds a little bit of interactivity, and we can ask some questions of the people that are setting up the page that we can get answers through the chat. Also, feel free to use the chat and talk about and give your own suggestions or 2 cents for the person whose page is being reviewed. I love seeing the back channel and the interactivity, and we often get some of the best suggestions on landing pages from people who are other people who are in the chat, because it's that third, that outside perspective that really drives a lot of changes that are really important for landing pages. Most of the time, people who are actually, if you're building the page, you're generally too close to come up with that. I should say, as always, these marketing chats are brought to you by KickoffLabs. If you don't know or you haven't used our product or service before, KickoffLabs is an amazing product that helps you create a more viral campaign. So our goal is to help you think about a campaign that's beyond just a landing page. So how you're walking leads through the process. So you get them to a landing page, you get them to convert, but then do you get them to share and bring their friends on board? That sharing, that virality is key to our product success and a key differentiator for our product. And it's where, for our customers, they get an additional 35 to 40% leads coming through. And we'll look at some of the sharing pages today that have been submitted through the process. I've got a lot of pages to get into, so let's just dive right in. I can see people are posting their page, and the first page I have up is from Ali Tabi, and it's fbhoney.kickoff pages, and they were first to post in the chat about 15 minutes ago, so the early bird gets the worm. I will go ahead and share my screen, and we can start looking at this page. All right, you should all see my screen now, and I will pull up their page first. So I didn't see it first, but a couple things I noticed right away. We do support having custom domains. I do recommend, if you haven't set it up already, you're using just our standard pages location, that you would customize that to be your domain. If nothing else, I might at least consider changing. You can edit this text ahead of time, so you could say something like rawhoney.kickoffpages.com would be kind of the bare minimum. Ideally, you would use your own domain. And why that's important for anyone is it's kind of a trust factor. So especially if you're using landing pages alongside of a standard website, it's important to consider that people kind of notice these little things, and anything that can add trust is an important element, and using your own domain adds trust to a landing page that you might not get otherwise. The other thing I noticed is this title up here. You can customize that in page settings. I would customize this title to say something like 100% Italian raw honey. So the title in the browser bar is actually maps up to what's expected on the page. It's a small thing, but again, it's another little nit that can improve your conversion rate. A couple things I noticed as well. I did see the logo. This image is, I think it's saying like certified, organic or something. It's not easy to read. I can't see the text. It might be something that you want to put a little bit lower on the page down below, because this stands out, the logo on the page. Would look a lot simpler if this wasn't just floating on the side. The other thing I noticed is that the background image, it looks like it's smaller than the browser window, and so it's getting a little bit fuzzier. And a smaller image is great for page load times, but you have to always consider maybe a higher quality image or a higher quality version of this image would look better on the page, and that way it wouldn't be so stretched and pixelated, and it would look a little bit more professional on the page than the lower quality image. The couple things, you're explaining what it is, 100% Italian raw honey made by healthy, happy bees in sunny Sicily. The thing that's kind of missing a little bit from the headline, especially considering that the call to action is further down the page because you've put this headline, a tagline, some text here, and the video, is that it's not obvious from reading this that there is going to be a call to action. And so something like saying, made by healthy bees in sunny Sicily, available for you to purchase now. So at least people know that there's something available for them to purchase and do. There's another action on the page that you're going to be expecting people to take. I'm not going to play the video. My recommendation generally for video, it looks like you've got a decent cover shot on the video, would be to keep a video under 2 minutes if people want to watch it and keep their attention. I'm not convinced you need the video in this space. You might try A/B testing a version with or without the video, or putting the video maybe on the second page, like inside this description. So if people want some more information, they can get to the second page on the product here. And then if you had the video on the second page, this button, this purchase now button would get moved up higher on the first page, so people would know that there's a purchase to be made here with the product. And going down, this text, the color that's used in the text doesn't quite show up well in terms of readability on top of this background image. So you might consider a different color background image. More likely, I would keep the text all the same color, this black color, and find background images for which this works. Changing colors too many times on a page, to me, sort of is, if you're not a professional designer, the simpler you can make things, the better. So unless you're a professional designer and you know what you're doing with color schemes and color changes, I would recommend keeping the colors on the page as simple as possible and focus on readability. So, this text is fairly readable with the black on top of the lighter yellow. This text is hard to read, the purple on top of a little bit of a purplish red background. And so focus primarily on simplicity of the text and readability on the particular landing page. And then keeping down the page, again, the same thing. Like this, you really should focus on readability. So you added a little bit of a lightness to this image, but the text is still not as readable as it probably should be on the page. You could even consider not having a background image. I mean, just compare this buy now and how readable it is. You'd be surprised how important simplicity is and readability is compared to having all these visuals on the page. And so I would test, if I were you, I would test a much simplified version of this page. I'd cut this logo, move the video down, remove the background images, keep the text readable. My guess is that you're going to see a lot more conversions of people clicking through with the simplified version of the page. That's my 2 cents on this landing page. Let's go to the next page. I don't want to spend too much time and get right on to this Stork page. They are using a KickoffLabs exit intent widget. Since that was up, I wanted to I'll do this a little backwards and review this first. There's a background image set on this exit intent widget. It's not clear to me what the background image is. It looks like it's one of our default blurred images in the background. I don't know that it helps in this case. I might keep the overlay simpler, maybe just black. Again, keeping with if it's not complementing the design and you're not a designer, keep it really simple. So keep this pop-up widget with just a black background and the white text. And then there's a call to action here, which is last chance to join the list, receive a free guide with tips to help you sleep longer. But then this button is join the wait list. I might focus on join the wait list and receive the free guide. You've got enough room in this button to have the text, or just say get my free guide to sleeping longer. Last chance to get your free guide. Focus on what's in it for them. Joining a wait list is not something people want to do. If somebody ever said to you, hey, do you want to come wait in line? Is your answer yes? Probably not. So that's not the most inspiring reason, unless there's a reason to be in the line, unless there's a reason to get at the end. So I would focus on that, on what the reason is, that you're giving them the free guide. Like you'll be on our wait list, but we're also going to give you this free guide. It looks like the page is a custom design. Going through the page, there's obviously something a little bit off on the text here. You can see how it scrolls, how the parents line is off the page here. I would definitely fix that. These are like little trust things that you're looking at. The design is pretty clean otherwise. My couple recommendations, this font is also a different color font than the rest of what's on the page. So I would consider this font. This font should be something like white. And instead of just saying email address, it should say something more enticing, like add your email. Like this text that's below it should probably be above it in white. So sign up today and get added. Then you've got the placeholder text, which should say something like add your email address in here. It looks like this text just says add. I would say something like add your email address. I would also make the placeholder text a little bit bolder so it stands out. And I know we're getting onto the nitty-gritty of the form here, but it's really important. It's the central part of the page. It's what you really want people to do on the page is fill out the form, and so it's worth spending the time on. So I would darken the placeholder text. The other thing I would do is if you step back from this website 10 feet, it's a little bit harder to see the call to action. This button right here just sort of blends in with the white, and a lot of designers like doing this. They like having things that kind of blend because, like I said earlier, simplicity is important in design. But my exception to that is you should be able to understand that this is a button that you should be clicking, and you should be able to see that if you close your eyes and open it within a couple seconds of looking at the page. And if you went backwards on the page and said, let's see, yeah, if we just kept making this smaller, it's a bad approximation of making the browser smaller and impersonating stepping backwards on the page. Does the button stand out? And my issue with it is the button really doesn't stand out very well on the page as you push backwards here. I love the image. It's a good image. Hey, I ran out of diapers. Anyone could bring me some? Absolutely, we'll bring you a supply within an hour. Also, it gets to the core of the problem, but it's a little bit ambiguous. Like instant help for new parents. Like, is it? What are you doing? So I think there maybe needs to be a tagline like, we bring you supplies, just something else on the top that explains your goal. This tagline down here, your SMS assistant for helping get through parenthood, might be worth trying up here in the title, or at least a version up here in the title of the page. They're going down through the page. What are they doing about us? Tell us about your family. Let us know your needs. We'll always remember. We grow with your child. We get smarter. I still don't have a clear idea of what you do. If I've gone this far down on the page, I should probably have a better idea of what you do. See how our customers use us the most, how we work. These are generic headlines, like about us, how we work. Something I would consider is customizing the headlines to be more about what you do. Or at least more tailored to your brand, like, learn about Stork here, how Stork works instead of how we works. It seems like you're beating people over the head with the brand, but remember, people who are coming to this page are not you. They're not living in this brand. They're not seeing it every single minute of the day, and so it's worth reminding people, what it is within here. Instead of saying how we work, like how we help you might be better. With some examples, or see Stork examples, or see it in real life, and then you see we do deliveries, consultations, babysitting, and names. Like these three things should probably be up here, like in the types of services you provide, to make it clear. They're buried in small gray text down here that I think are part of this image, because I can't even select the text in this location, and I would put them up here. Frequently asked questions, I don't understand what is Stork. If that is a frequently asked question, it probably tells you something about the landing page and how you're presenting it. You shouldn't be getting that as a frequently asked question. Text us any requests from diapers to food to home cleaning to doctors. The list is endless. This copy, if you're getting this as a frequently asked question, should be maybe that copy that I said is the tagline, like below here. Like just text us anything and we'll take care of it for you on the list. And then you've got a second call to action on the bottom. You've got the PDF, which this time you put above the form, which is great. I would copy that kind of flow up here to put that PDF above the form. The join, again, the wait list, I would focus on the get your PDF and join the wait list and call out both things. Let's actually go and sign up and see what happens here. All right, thanks for signing up for the wait list. Your free PDF is in your inbox. Now share the love, invite other parents, earn awesome rewards. So this is one of these cases where it is our default text to say, earn rewards. I would tease the reward up here. So whenever I see a thank you page like this, I think it's important. You're saying thanks for signing up. You're saying they're getting their PDF, which is great. Invite other parents and earn up to 1 month of free diapers and a Stork feeding bib. Like whatever is the most awesome, most awesome reward or awesomely textable reward, I would tease it up here, so that way people are enticed to read down and see what the rewards are. Rewards are below this. You have a timeline available. This opportunity is too good not to share, but hurry because it's only available till July 17th. You might consider putting that up here in the text, like only available till July 17th, and then remind them down here. It's great that you've got a deadline. It'll probably hasten people's idea of, that they should be sharing it. But you really need to put that in front of people higher up on the page instead of having it down here. And let's see, was there anything AJ said on the chat? Use the Bootstrap widget from the page. Their way to discover the underlying HTML. Yeah, if you contact support offline, we can help you with that with it. And I think Izzy already replied on the chat. All right, so our next page that we're looking at today, hopefully you found that helpful. I'm going to pull up this first one. We'll just do one from Penny Skateboards. So Penny Skateboards, Fresh Prints 2015. Izzy, do you want to start and take a look at this page? They say that the setup template for this page, we'd like to review the page, knowing what elements are missing, why the bounce rate is so high, and why the average time on site is low and the average site value, etc. I have an idea why the bounce rate might be high and here, but I'd love to have you take a stab at it first.
Well, it's pretty obvious why I think that the bounce rate is actually kind of high. We're looking here, and I mean, initially, there's a single call to action, which is just basically clicking play to actually view the actual video. And I mean, and looking at the actual design of your store, well, to me, this somewhat looks like a blog post page. But let me go ahead and scroll down and show you what is probably happening. This call to action button is actually pretty hidden, and it's not really, and it doesn't really look like a sales page. If you start looking like at other e-commerce companies, you'll notice that right away they start off with product picks and they'll have, let's say, like their some pricing information, some more product information a little bit underneath. And like I said, this kind of has just blocked up chunks of text, looks kind of like a blog post. It's not obvious to me what exactly it is you're selling. I mean, it looks like a fresh print. Okay, so it's a print that you put onto your skateboard, but call to action is very hidden. I mean, it's just a gray on black button that just says shop now. It doesn't say, it doesn't say get your prints now. You have to be a little bit more clever with your e-commerce, especially with your target market, because you're targeting young people who are into alternative fashion and like alternative things like that. But and you have to be aware that these people are much more web savvy, especially nowadays, and they kind of get used to like a certain look of e-commerce stores. That's my opinion. But like I said, this call to action is super buried. And then here you start actually talking about these features. I would actually probably push these features up, cut down some of this paragraph text, because this is just kind of talking about Penny Skateboards. It introduces the newest kids on our block, and you start talking about, it was a decade that brought us to, this is just unnecessary text. I mean, it's cool, and it kind of defines your actual brand, but you want to use this later on the page, because really you want to use a page, if you're using it as a sales page, to inform people and to let them know right away, this is a product and it's for sale, this is the price, and this is how you could get it.
Yeah, I'm with Izzy. I think the reason people bounce is that people don't know what to do next on this page. It's not obvious that it's not just some blog post I came across. So if I clicked on this, I might skim the text and then leave. The play button on the video is rather subtle as well. So a couple of quick changes that I might suggest is introing with some text, Fresh Prints 2015, and then something like available for purchase now. Right at the top, and maybe that available for purchase now text in the headline should be linked to their next step. The thing that successful e-commerce sites do is it's very obvious wherever you are in the e-commerce site what your next step should be. Then I would put the video below the first paragraph, and I would introduce it that it's a video, like learn more about the product. And that way that people have a call to action to watch the video next. Instead of it just looking more like, it kind of just looks like it's a static image at the top of the page, I might just ignore the fact that there's a play button here to play the video. So that's why I say, like, lead with the headline that explains that this is a product page for something to buy, a little bit of an introduction, then the video. The other thing is this image on the side. I know it's a kind of an in-page ad. I'm not quite sure why it's here. To me, I just ignore it because it just looks like a banner ad on the side of the page, and I think web-savvy people are going to just ignore it. So I'm not sure it's making the best use of this valuable space at the top of the page. I might consider maybe this is where you should put your feature list, maybe a narrower bulleted list on the side of features with the image maybe further down on the sidebar, and it might balance the page out a little bit more. Having a list of like related products would kind of be a visual indicator that this is a product page and there's something to be purchased here. But yeah, what Izzy said, the biggest thing is I just think it looks like a blog post, and it's not obvious what you want people to do next. And this button being gray and buried down here, people aren't going to see it. They're not gonna see it and know that that's what you want them to do next. It should be in the headline. It should be a bigger call to action. It should be after the video. You never know what part of the page is going to convince people to convert, and so you have to be ready for that, for it to be any part of the page there. So let's see. One of the next folks here is FactorWave. Let me open that one. I think I already had that open. Okay, yeah, FactorWave, a hedge fund for the 99%. I think it needs a little bit more explanation below here. It's not going to kill you. This form, as opposed to the other page, is really loud and obvious. If it's down another inch because you added some explainer text above here, you're not going to kill the conversion rate, but I think you're actually going to improve it by explaining explaining a little bit more about how this is a hedge fund for the 99%. And my other question is, like, should you be leading with hedge fund for the 99%, or should it be more simple, like investing for the 99%? And then you can talk about it being hedge funds. I don't know. To me, like, the two seem, and maybe that's on purpose, in a tagline, the two seem opposed to one another. Like, hedge fund sounds like the big scary Wall Street guy, and then 99% is the opposite side of the aisle from that. And so I might consider, simplifying it down to investing for the 99%, and then in the smaller text that you put below this, say, a simpler hedge fund with lower fees, better returns, where you make the decisions. on what happened. So kind of take these three things that you've got here, come up with a tagline, a sub headline or something that goes below the, investing for the 99%, and explains it. And then you can duplicate each of those bullets from your sentence down below with this information. On these headlines here, research predicts performance. I don't know what that means. I do know lower fees equals better returns. Maybe lead with that one. And then you make the final decision. I'm not quite sure what that really means. I might consider tightening these headlines if a bit. So let's read a little bit more. Decades of identified factors that predict future outperformance. Let's see. Basically, you're saying we have smarter rankings. Like we rank funds smarter. The fees is understandable, and then you make the final decision. We do analysis, you make the final call. Keep your existing accounts, only make trades that you want. What could be with the knowledge. We give you the knowledge, make your, we give you knowledge you can use, basically. So, going back and saying, we'll give you the knowledge that you can use. So the next thing here is there really isn't much incentive to join. There's this join the waiting list. And there's not really why should I wait in line? The parent app we saw before, they had an incentive. They said, hey, we're going to give you a PDF for joining, and you could do the same thing. Think about your customer. They came here and they're interested because they have a problem. Maybe they want to invest, but they're not sure how. So you could be offering them a PDF that says a beginner's guide to investing, right? And if you offer that PDF that's a beginner's guide to investing, you'll get a lot more people clicking through this link, because you're not just asking them to join a wait list. You're saying, hey, I can help solve your problem with this free PDF that we're going to give you now. So let's go ahead and click join the wait list and see what happens. Thanks for your interest. We've added you to the wait list. As soon as we launch, you'll be the first to know. Okay, lots wrong with this. First is that, great, I'm waiting in line. Again, it's not much of a reward. Second, as soon as we launch, you'll be the first to know is just a terrible launch strategy. What you should be doing is nurturing this audience as they go. So if this is truly what you're gonna do, and I say this a lot, and let's say you don't launch for 3 months, I sign up now, which I just did. 3 months from now, you bombard my inbox and say, a smarter way to invest. Perhaps you've even changed your name along those 3 months. I've seen it happen. I don't even know what I signed up for, why I signed up for it, what your company does. I'm going to hit delete. You're going to have a terrible open rate. Nobody's going to convert. And you may have gathered 20,000 email addresses, but if only 2 of them sign up for your service, it's a failure. So what you want to do is you want to give them something that solves their problem right away. That would be the incentive part, a PDF, a download, something. And then as you're going, you want to engage the audience. And there's 2 things you can do to engage the audience, or 2 categories of engagement that I encourage people to do. One is that you really want them to, you really want to involve them in your product building. So, just sending them a simple poll saying, hey, help us choose between this screen and this screen, or this logo and this logo. Make them feel like they're part of it. And if they feel like they're part of it, they'll be more personally invested. And you'll also, ideally, you want them to be part of it. You want them to give you feedback along the way, and you can use that knowledge to make a better product so you have a more successful launch. The second type of emails you should be sending along the lines while you're launching are the emails that continue to help solve their problem. A link to a blog post you've written, a link to an article in Forbes magazine about investing for the 99% that helps explain and convey your brand and helps solve their problem. And that way, when you do send me your grand launch email, I followed along, I'm invested, I know that you're sending me quality stuff, and I'm more interested and I'm more likely to click join, click purchase, whatever you want me to do as part of your launch. I would focus on that. So like I said, if I were looking at this page, the biggest thing, having a little bit of a headline below this that kind of reads these 3 off in one sentence, having an incentive for people to come in besides the wait list. And then I didn't even get to having incentive for people to share. So if you do want people to share, why should they do it? If you share, you'll move up on the wait list and you'll get access sooner. That's just a simple one. Anybody could do it. We have waitlist templates for that. But are there other rewards you could give people, like $100 to invest for the person that shares the most? Like just something that you can give people to encourage the sharing, to make it fun, make it a little bit more of a game, make it exciting to people. Our product makes that really easy. As you can see, they're using our product, so there's the customized link. But the page really needs to, you need to motivate them to do it. You can't just expect that it's the sharing links are here, they'll share. They have to have a reason to share. A reason to share is typically selfish. It's because something's in it for them, and they thought what they were getting from you is so incredibly cool, they need to be the first to tell their friends about it. And that's a reason that people share, and you need to convey that to them in this message. So let's take a look at the next page here. Izzy, do you want to pull up, let's see, Arla.co? I think they're the next in the chat, this Arla page, and then you can take a look at that for starts.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm taking a look at Arella or Arla.co. And right away, what really draws my attention is the fact that this text is somewhat hard to read with these rotating images. Like with this second image here, Decadent Breakfasts, I mean, it becomes just slightly hard to read. Down here for priority access, since you have darker colors, you want to be careful with the images that you're using. In this case, I would probably only use just a single background image, since there is more to the page. But I'm going to get to that right now, because it's not super obvious that the page is scrollable, but I like the overall layout. The color scheme is nice, and it kind of screams like, okay, well, this is about food. Decadent breakfast. So let's take a look at the actual headline: healthy snacks, wholesome ingredients, customized by you, delivered to you. Okay, and you have your little trademark symbol. So I'm pretty sure that you've already worked on your tagline quite a bit, and actually I kind of like that tagline. Decadent breakfast, healthy snacks. But the images aren't really showing me too much of that. I mean, this isn't a decadent breakfast. I mean, yogurt and fruit is not a decadent breakfast. Cheese, nuts, and fruit doesn't really look like a decadent breakfast to me. It does look healthy. It does look wholesome, but it doesn't. But to me, it doesn't align with your actual tagline here. Taking a look at the rest of the page. Well, Josh already went through and he talked about how just saying sign up now for early access is not a great strategy. You kind of want to be a little bit more specific as to what people are getting when they sign up, and providing some kind of incentive is great, which you are doing, but it's kind of hard to read here. So you are providing an incentive to join the VIP.
I think there's good incentive on the page. I think the biggest problem is the readability of the text on top of the images, and it's hard to have with the images they've selected there, because the images change color so many times. I would simplify it down, remove the scrolling, because it's hard to find images with all the text you have. Pick one image where you can read all the text, and stick with that one image and the one text and the text color there. I do like changing the colors, the black and then the orange, to make things stand out. I just think that for whatever reason, the black text on top of the images you've chosen is hard to read, and that's the most important thing, is the readability. So if that involves picking a different image, sticking with the same image, not having scrolling images, that's way more important. That's way more important than having the image rotator back here.
I agree, Josh. Well, I think that since it is kind of like a food-based product, they do need colorful images, but either blurring your images either blurring the header image just a bit, and I was noticing that down here in these images, yeah, it's just really hard to read with this like red here on the image. It's just impossible to read. It's impossible to read. Sorry about that, but that's the truth.
I didn't even notice the two buttons at the top, like this about and this sign up kind of text at the top. It just kind of gets buried here. They're also sort of these chads hanging on the page that they're not actually linked up. I would just kill them on the page, and they're not clickable. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, just get rid of those so your form gets pushed up a little bit higher, because like I said, I was going to mention that this page kind of looks like a single page here, there doesn't look like there's much more to it. So you're probably not going to get too many people. Well, a lot of people aren't going to be scrolling all the way down because they'll just see this first section. And if you just get rid of this about sign up, it'll push the rest of your page up and yeah, provide more information for your signups. So let's see what happens when I sign up. And they did have a bounce exit intent. However, I did close it right before. So hats off to you for using the KickoffLabs bounce. So thank you. You have now joined our early access program. Okay, you were also entered to win 3 months. Now invite friends and earn more chance to win. What can I win? Okay, so do I improve my chances of winning the free months, or are you giving away more prizes? I would be more specific here. I would tell people exactly how they're improving their chances, what they're doing. You know, what do they get by inviting friends? Because it's saying that they earn more chances, but what exactly? And you're not providing any more description on the page. So yeah, I mean, I would tell people exactly what kind of more chances are they getting to win. Probably provide even a different kind of incentive, because it just seems as if you're giving away a few of these win 3 free months. I would tell, I mean, since you're using our leaderboard here, I would tell people like, well, we're giving away 10 subscriptions, or we're giving away 50 subscriptions. Just give them like a number, tell people how many subscriptions are available, and the leaderboard will tell them what number they're at, and they'll keep sharing, because right now you only have one person.
It seems a little bit, yeah, it seems a little bit restrictive. Like you're just giving away 1 3-month subscription, and it's painful sometimes, but you have to realize, like, to get people to share, you do have to give something away. It's the cost of the promotion. And what you can do to back that up is, win a 3-month subscription. I'd also like to see the value of that. So if you said like a $250 value on that, win one of 5 3-month subscriptions, a $250 value, it might put it in context of what it's for. Because I don't know if this is a $2 a month subscription or $200 a month subscription. And it's not going to be clear to people here. Even if you don't know your exact pricing, I'm sure you know it close enough to explain the value. The other thing is, while on the first page, I liked the orange text. I feel like it's a little overused here. The white text in this image is easy to read. I might just highlight orange, like entered to win in orange, and then earn more chances in orange. Like I might change what's in orange and use it a little bit less frequently on this page. And like Izzy said, being really specific, and you can use this text here to be specific about, use your share links to improve your chances of winning, or improve by sharing, or improve your odds by sharing. That text can be repeated here. And then current leaders, or people, current leaders or current people with the most entries, or the most entries here, is going to help people figure out where their odds are, and if it's worth their sharing. That's my 2 cents. Izzy, do you have anything else on the thank you page?
I just want to comment real quick. Thomas in the chat, he actually mentioned, well, you should take off the leaderboard because a lot of people have 0 scores. Do you know what you could do? You could use custom scoring within KickoffLabs to make, to change those actual scores so everybody doesn't have a 0. That's probably what I would do. I wouldn't take off the actual leaderboard because it's a good strategy. But yeah, I would use custom scoring within KickoffLabs, give people a little bit more scores so it doesn't look so empty. In my opinion, I don't know, Josh. What do you think?
Something else to do, the opposite approach would be actually to call it out on the page. Like, it's like, you're here early, you've got great odds. Like it's something like, really improve, like you call it out as a benefit, not a thing, like, and saying like, hey, you're the early bird, you really want to catch the worm and get ahead. All it takes is, 3 shares and you'll be on the leaderboard. Like it's also a benefit. It's not just it's not just something that could be 0. Like to me, it's a reason you might want to enter the contest and improve your odds here. So just something to think about, something to try on the page to get people to share, to get people to share that. All right, kind of going through after Arla, the next page. Let's see. Move this over here. Donkey tape. I've already said it. I'm not going to repeat it again. Let us know when you launch is a terrible launch strategy. There's no incentive on this exit intent box. It says, give me some tape. I'm not sure if you're going to give me the tape, what it's going to happen when I sign up. You should make that clear, what I'm getting, what's going to happen when I sign up. You have to consider, even though they might have seen the page before they saw the exit intent, you have to consider that people didn't. You have to treat them as, there's almost zero context shared between the two of them, because there is almost zero context shared between the two of them. And so you might want to add a little bit of context about what you're getting for signing up in this exit intent box here. Looking at the page, never asked to borrow tape again. Introducing Donkey Tape, the best hockey tape shipped to you every month. I don't know. When I saw this page, it depends on how you're marketing it. And so my context was just thinking about it in terms of like duct tape or Gorilla Tape or any of those other forms of tape that are generally useful. The fact that it took until the third line of text here to understand that this is hockey tape, maybe just even moving never asked to borrow hockey tape again in that top line to make it clear, what audience this is for, so that I rule myself out. Like, I shouldn't sign up for this. I don't play hockey. And you want customers to opt in because it's known that it's explicitly for them, or opt out because it's not explicitly for them. Pick a package and choose your colors. It kind of looks to me like you just have black, white, and cream colored. I guess you're saying different colors. I'm not sure I would call that a benefit really, because you just have 3 colors here. I might think about maybe some of these other benefits first. Frequency and shipments, that's your benefit, as opposed to just like going to the store or forgetting it at the rink. So something like instead of saying frequency and shipment, reinforcing the, never forget your hockey tape again. Some message on the top, reinforcing that in a headline and leading with that. You'll get it every month, as much tape as you need. This hockey image, I kind of wish, I guess this header image is hockey, but it's because of the narrowness, I can't really tell that it's hockey. I wish that this image was up here on the top again to reinforce that it was hockey that you're making this for. And so if you kind of took this frequency and shipment, had a better headline that says, get your bi-monthly shipment of hockey tapes, you can keep playing, then use this image in that location and had that at the top, I think you'd be doing yourself a favor of really narrowing down the audience into who it's for. There is an incentive here, sign up now to receive special discounts when we launch. Great, so there's an incentive, and let's sign up quickly and see what happens. Get some tape. What happens? All right, so it doesn't look like you necessarily finished this page. If you're not going to have a logo and some links, I would kill the top bar on this page. You can do that in the template. Thanks for your interest. Now invite friends and earn $20 in free tape. That's great. Like, how many do I have to get? You're basically saying, up to $20. I might just make it simpler and saying, invite friends and earn $20. Like, invite friends and earn $1 off per friend up to $20. Just so it's simpler. Invite one friend, give them $1 off. Invite 2 friends, $2 off. It's not that far off of what you're doing in this scheme. And I think it would play simpler on the scheme. And you can still keep like $2 off, $5 off, $10 off, $20 off. And I think it's just simpler to know, like, each friend equals $1. And since you're lining it up anyway, I would go with that strategy of what you're doing for the incentives, just so it's simpler for people to understand. All right, let's look at the next page here. It's like my chat kind of cleared out a little bit. Launch Synthesis Corp. Izzy, do you want to talk about the launch Synthesia Corp?
Let me correct it. It's launch.synesthesia.com.
Synesthesia.com. Okay.
But actually, I would rather.
That means you just volunteered to review the page.
No, actually, I would rather you take a look at this page, because actually, these are the guys that I have been talking to. Because I myself am a musician on my part time, and I play drums and electronic drums. So I know exactly about this product. I'd rather hear your feedback, Josh.
Okay. I know I am not a musician. I do not play the drums. And so my feedback is from going to be from that perspective, just looking at the page. Um, I I think I suggested this earlier. I would have a much simpler version of this page. There's a lot of text here, and the form over here, it kind of is, to me, it's buried because this image overshadows it. So you've got this big, huge image of the drum, and it overshadows the form. Even though this is bright and red, it would flow better for the eyes if the form was just below this text. Make sure you know when we launch. Again, terrible strategy, but it's not incentive for most people. The image probably explains it. It makes no sense to me what happens here, but to your target audience, having this kind of image up here probably does explain it. I feel like the image is a little bit, I feel like you could go someplace and pay for a little bit nicer design of the image. The arrows, it looks like something, and no offense, it looks like something I could design, which is not saying much to the image, just something that makes the text and the arrows a little bit cleaner and prettier here with the product shots, because the product shots look great, but the text that's in here and the images, I think, could look a little, and the arrows, I think you could go to like Fiverr.com and pay somebody to do a $5 version, give them this and say you want it to look prettier, and for $5 have a better image back that you could use on the page, because it's an important image. It's right below the main piece of content here. You've got some trust factors here, which is great. I love seeing that there's quotes. If you have a name of the person that wrote the article, that would be better. So just even adding like the name here, by this person from Rhythm Magazine, I think that would be better, because then it feels more real. You're not just quoting a thing, you're quoting a person who wrote the article, because presumably these are people that wrote the articles. And then the rest of the page I think is fine on the page. You can try with and without the team side, the team part here. I don't think you necessarily need it. Again, I would just simplify the flow on the page, move it over, maybe find a better image here in this location, add names to the testimonials here is what I would do. So let's say, what happens when I sign up? All right, earn Mandela Drum, invite friends and earn Mandela Drum merch. Again, I would say, you do have this rewards listed below. Instead of calling that, you could have this headline in yellow, like, earn a t-shirt or a free drum set, see full set of rewards below. And then you're calling it out of what you could win, and you're teasing kind of the big prize at the top. Otherwise, it generally looks good. I might add some spaces to after the image here in this location, so to kind of even out the boxes a little bit here, or use the same size image in each of these locations. This image is taller, but if you add some white padding to some of the images, just to make these boxes line up a little bit better across, because you've got the images in the boxes, I think it would help. And we could probably help with that. All right, so let's see, the next page to get to. Going down. Izzy, were there any other people waiting in line for the page that was here?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we have a couple more. We have one, wewego.com.
Okay, pull that one up. You can go with that one.
Okay, and then right after, hopefully, we'll get to honeysouls.co as well. So WeWeGo, I'm looking at book taxi, and this kind of looks a little bit off. One way round trip. Okay. I would switch up your headline right away. This headline kind of confuses me. It's just too caveman like, book taxi, one way round trip, which is good. I mean, that's not actually too bad, because thinking like a copywriter, you kind of do want to think, with a caveman voice, simplify your copy just so everybody can actually understand it. But I think this is just way too simplified. So I would actually just play something that's just a little bit more of a play on your actual service, because I don't know really what it is. I know it's taxi. I know it's one way round trip, but it's not really clear to me what the benefit is. What's the difference between this and like Uber and or some other kind of taxi service. So why we go? So door to door. Well, I mean, obviously that's what taxis do. Dictate time. Choose your time of travel. I hope so. I hope they don't, make me travel when I don't want to. No waiting. Okay. Well, these are all obvious benefits to me. These are all things that people have already come to actually expect. It doesn't really scream to me like this is some kind of unique service. I would really look into your actual company and see what the real unique value what your unique value proposition is, what you're going to be offering to your customers, and what's different about your company. Because I'm seeing just all the same stuff, and then right away you're jumping into some testimonials. I'm not sure if I would put these testimonials right here. I would probably start using the how it works. Overall, I mean, this page, I don't want to be too critical, Josh, but I don't really like. I think that they could use a lot of help, in actually making the page a little bit easier to read, a little bit more informative as to what their services are.
That headline at the bottom there that you were on.
Yes. Compare.
Yeah, the search compare, like that was actually probably the best headline that should be at the top of the page. All right, I don't hear Izzy. Maybe he's waiting for me to say something. But yeah, I mean, I find people often come up with their best copywriting when they get to the end of a page and the ideas are all in their head. And what they should probably do is once you get to the end of a page copywriting, a longer page like that, maybe take some of your headlines from the end and ask yourself, are they better than the headlines I put at the top? And chances are that's probably the case because you've been practicing writing headlines for your company then for however many hours you were working on your landing page copy. Now we're going to look at honeysouls.co. Seriously comfortable, your feet deserve it. And then there's a picture of the product there. My problem with this page is that the text and images should always be complementary and not required to see on the page. And so if you didn't have that product shot image there, you wouldn't be able to tell if these were sandals, these were shoes, these were what they were on the page. And I might consider adding in the text like seriously comfortable soles, or seriously comfortable foot soles, or your feet deserve the best foot soles on the market. Like adding something about what it is in this top here, I think would help. I also noticed that this is part of the image. I really would make this part text on the page so that search engines and people can read it, especially when you look at the page on mobile devices. It kind of will scale down. It'll be difficult to read this here. You do have a great product shot here on the page. I do love it on the side of the text. I do love the brand. It's a strong looking brand. I always do wonder though, like I'm scared of stepping on bees, so that's my only question would be that, but it's probably a little late for that question now. Now your incentive here, you say get rewards, be the first to know, win an Apple Watch. Wow, that's quite the incentive. I would be really concerned if this started exploding, that you've got a lot of people that want to win the watch as opposed to a free pair of soles. Now, I know that the watch is worth a lot more probably than the free pair of soles, but I wouldn't lead with the Apple Watch as a reward because I think you're going to get a lot of people. There's actually communities on the internet of people that just look for contests of iPads and watches and expensive things to win, and they just go and flood the contests with entries from those communities, and those people rarely end up being your customer. But if what you're giving away and what you lead with as a reward is your actual product or something very directly related to your product of people that need more comfortable footwear, then it could be better. So like if you want to give away the same value, I might even say, get a $250 Zappos gift card if you're not going to lead with your product there. Something that's of great value that entices people to sign up. but it's Zappos, so it's footwear, so it's at least related to people. You know that the people who are interested in winning that are people that have, that buy and care about footwear online. And so just something to think about in terms of the rewards and how to structure rewards and whether or not you should give away an iPad or an Apple Watch thing. I do love the text, join the comfort revolution here. Let's see what happens if I join the comfort revolution. All right, and so yeah, what you are giving away, and this is what I was suggesting. So you do have a very clear image here with what you get. I do like that you kind of took this this image and made it really clear. About 50% off at 5 referrals, a free pair at 15. That's why I would really lead with this, and then you have the most referrals getting the watch. So if you want to keep that high incentive, don't have it until the second page, so that you know that at least people when they come and they try and sign up, that you're people that are interested. The other thing is you can have this page on your custom domain as well. And so it could be on your custom domain. If you need help with that, I think it'll just seem a little bit more trusting than our default side-by-side leaderboard. Like I said, you can at least edit this within our product of saying, Honey Soul's leaderboard. So it's a little bit more on your brand, not our brand, frankly, and not dash 25. It's a contest. Make people feel a little bit more trusted throughout the contest. And then you do have a deadline. It doesn't seem like many people have entered yet. They have 1 month to enter. The deadline is great for the contest. I'd be curious, how much you've started promoting this. If people are, is it that they're not signing up or that they're not sharing? I don't know. I haven't looked at your stats. Something to look into. If you've got a lot of signups but there's not much sharing, then I would consider how you're getting the rewards. My guess is you don't have many signups yet from looking at the leaderboard data that's presented. So I'd really focus on getting the word of that first page out there so that you can seed enough entries in the contest to make it worthwhile. All right. Let's see, we've only got a couple minutes left. Was there anybody here? Let's see, there's a couple more people that did not get their chance to review. So I'm gonna go through this and do a lightning round of pages reviews really quickly for people that are here. Let's see, and if you want any more feedback or have questions, let us know. Let's see. All right, Rumor Gaming. We create casual mobile games for all ages. We'd like to know, when our first free game hits the store, subscribing to the link to free. I don't know if that's a great strategy. I don't know what your company does, but I don't know what kind of games you create. I don't know if I'd be interested. And again, we'll notify you when the first free game. If you build like card games, just something that is a little bit more specific, it might be worthwhile. Here to talk about what you do. And then there's not, you're talking about your giveaway here, but you don't really talk about what your company does. So I don't know if you're ruling out, I don't know if you're trying to find, people to join your company, if you're trying to find people that are interested in the games. I feel like you really have to have a game or an idea to do the launch. It might just be too early to have this page up if you're basically saying, are you interested in my company? And so I don't know if that's going to get too many people to sign up. Saying you're interested in casual games, because just about anybody is interested in casual games these days. Again, this isn't specific about the rewards, but then you actually do have a specific reward, featured role in one of our games. Now that's more interesting. Could you lead with that on the first page and also lead with invite friends and get featured in one of our games, or become a become a part of one of our games or part of history? That might be more interesting for people that's there. All right, next page, video background 54. Again, you can have your custom domain on the page. And it looks like you're A/B testing this because it doesn't look like this is the video background here. Got the exit intent, forgot to sign up. Exclusive access is just an email away. Add me to the list for exclusive access. I would add it there. Now looking at the page, Rebel Box, a subscription box of punk rock music and merch handpicked by your favorite artist. Kill the launching soon page. It just tells people to go away. Get on the list for updates and exclusive invites. I would say, be the first to get your box and get exclusive invites and discounts or something that's there. So be the first to get the box instead of be the first for updates, because I don't really want updates. I want your merchandise. I want what you're trying to sell me. If I go to the thank you page, all right, you're on the wait list. It looks like it's a little early. You guys haven't quite gotten all this figured out yet because there's I'm the first person. Want early access, skip the line by referring, get the first box by referring 3 friends. So it's not just want early access and skip the line by referring 3 friends. It's remind them what it's for. Like, get your first Rebellion box by referring 3 friends. Like, what is the brand for? You have to keep reminding people about this throughout the process. That's my 2 cents there. HRSM Biz. Wow, we went from punk rock to HR business. This is how it got to be the most harsh transition we've ever had on the reviews. It could not be more opposite. All right, couple things here. Your big call to action is this no more about us. And again, the text scrolls with the image. I really don't like that. The call to action changes location with each of these images. I would focus on one image instead of the scroller. This no more, okay, I click here, what does it do? It just goes to the next thing. Okay. People are gonna get bored of this. Like, is your call to action, what do you want them to do on this page? I don't know what you want me to do. Is this your main call to action? Do you want me to call your phone number at the top? Do you want me to email you? Do you want me to like one of you guys, like one of your things up here? Like, what do you want someone to do? Like, you have to treat, even if you're a business, you have to treat these, or consultancy, whatever you're doing, you have to treat it like it's an e-commerce site, like we mentioned near the top of these reviews. Like, what is the very next step you want someone to do? I don't think you want somebody clicking through your animation, because it's just not very interesting, to be honest. But and it doesn't lead me anywhere. Like, if you're gonna have people click through, the last step should be booking an appointment, right? I would just lead with like what you do, why you need to do it, and a big huge button that says book your appointment now, that leads to this appointment booking page, which I don't think it's obvious what you need to do here. Like, book an appointment today. There's way too much text. This sort of form here should probably be above with this information inside of this this appointment booking part that's here, and then you pick a time slot. Yeah, I mean, this is what you want people to do. This is what really should be led on this page from the top. It should be the main call to action. It should be a giant button here. You have this welcome and then your brand. Why is this here? It was already up here. You don't need it. This, who we help, like, you're kind of speaking to people. You could have this headline be, who do we help? Like, and you have the 4 people listed here of who we help. Then you have this book appointment. You've got 2 testimonials that rotate. Why? And the page changes heights when you rotate the testimonials. Why not just list them out static? Why are people obsessed with these extra design elements? Take a look at the blog post we literally just posted today. And we'll post the link in the chat about is your design killing conversions? I could have used this page as a case study. And I'm sorry it's harsh, it's just true. And if you read the blog post, and we'll post the link in the chat, you'll understand why we're giving the advice, why we're giving the advice that we're giving on this page. All right, it looks like the last one for today's lightning round, and we're going over, so I appreciate people staying. Pin Forest. Let's see, Pin Forest. Looking for something someone in your school is selling. I feel like you're missing a headline up at the top or something that explains it a bit more here. I don't really know what you're doing before I read this detailed copy, and I should have some idea of what you're doing before I read the detailed copy here. We build custom marketplaces for universities to help communities, to help university communities, to help people buy, sell, find. Let's see, why not just say custom marketplaces like this line up here? At least say what first. I know you're trying the technique of like speaking to the person. I think you should do that in this copy, like looking for something. Someone in your school is probably selling it. We help make these things easier to do here. Again, be the first one you launch. I've said it before. You can follow the advice I gave to everyone else, which is bad advice. We've got amazing contests coming soon. I don't know why you have why a contest is relevant to the marketplace. Like it feels like you're all over the place here. It says your complete name. I kind of wonder why I need a complete name. I don't know why I couldn't just say my email address and not have the name. It seems like an extra step, or why I couldn't just say first name, if anything. Let's see, Covenant, Bells University, Alien. I don't know what that means. The third choice there, I would have expected more choices in that dropdown. This, again, at the end of the page, the best headline on the page is right here at the end, all the best site, or about the best site in the world to find all your needs within the school. Why isn't that below the logo? Why isn't that the text that's here? And let's see, the exit intent widget. Our users are 10 times more likely to have superpowers, sign up to be an early adopter, and get exclusive access to our giveaway. Get exclusive access to the giveaway instead of just sign up, or get superpower, something playful here instead of just saying sign up. But let's see if I actually finish the sign up process here. You rock, thanks for your interest, tell your friend. Why? And I don't know why I should tell you my friends. There's not much incentive for doing so. We could probably just delete these links if you want. I think you should just add some incentive, like tell your friends. Tell your friends. The more people that join from your school, the more likely we are to get there faster. Like there's gonna be some reason that you can come up with, like, we're looking for more people from your school to launch there. Like some reason to get people excited about it here. That's my 2 cents on the page. I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate anybody that stayed up a little bit later into the afternoon to get through the last couple of pages of people here. If your page was not reviewed, we do keep a store of pages for the next review. We'll probably be doing it in 2 weeks. Feel free to come back, and we're happy to look at more pages then. This again is brought to you by KickoffLabs. It's always hard to bring up my own page after these reviews because I feel like criticizing my own page, especially after I see what Izzy's done with it all the time. So KickoffLabs is the quick and easy way to build viral campaigns and get new customers. You've seen a lot of KickoffLabs pages today. Some were KickoffLabs customers, some were not. You saw the ones that we did that had the viral campaigns afterwards and the thank you pages. That's what we make extremely easy. So people use that for contests, for building a wait list, for creating the best coming soon landing pages. Lots of reason to use the product. We have exit intent widgets, forms you can drop in on just about any page. We offer split testing of the landing pages and smarter split testing at that. Let me know if you want to know why it's smarter than the average split testing out there, and I could tell you. People that use us, people who work in marketing, startups, agencies, we have features that make it easy to manage multiple clients, and e-commerce sites to run contests and promotions using the viral sharing for your e-commerce brand. Have any question about how we can help you? Let us know. Next week, we're going to be doing a Getting Started with KickoffLabs webinar and going over some best practices. So please feel free to join join that. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week and for the next set of reviews that we do. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.